Good morning to all my friends and family, and welcome to this episode of Jim's 5am Club. It's a wet old day here in Sydney town, and I just want to reflect on a theatre that I visited and enjoyed yesterday. I had the great pleasure of attending the theatre there in Marrickville with my wife Paula. And it was a very, very interesting production from a book named The Golden Apple by a famous Greek author, Kazantzakis. And this play was indeed very deep, and from the outset there were lots and lots of messages that were flowing, so much so that I pulled out my phone and I started to take notes. So what I'd like to do is just share some of the notes that I captured yesterday to highlight the beautiful messages that came from this play that I attended yesterday. The first key message is that it's difficult to separate good from bad, right from wrong, when you are growing and developing, because everything we do and experience is an important lesson that forms a basis, forms a powerful and strong foundation in our lives. These valuable experiences help us build our confidence, capability, and weighted perspective of risk and reward. When we are young, we need to grow and develop by being selfish and broadening our skills in competition with many others around us. And whilst it may feel uncomfortable when we're young and wrong to do, because sometimes competition is seen as being negative, we do need to push ourselves hard, because this is the only way to become the best that you can become in order to be in a position to best serve God and love your neighbour. Everybody has a particular calling, and we came from the soil to reach and become one with God, which is the ultimate treasure, the real gold mine. Our duty is to make the most of our God-given skills, talents and opportunities, and not to waste them, because you may never get another chance to have them in these configurations at your disposal ever again in your life. Opportunities are fleeting and time passes quickly. Make sure you grab each God-given opportunity with both hands while holding tightly with your 10 fingers and hugging closely to your body with both of your arms. It is important to be real, raw and authentic, so that you are not placed in a position to bring shame on your generation. Don't try to live someone else's life or be someone else. Be and express yourself is the message. Sins are the things that distract and consume the souls of men, and we can say the souls of people here. Be very selective of the things you continually obsess over, because there is a big price to be paid or a great reward to be received for those who are patient, persistent, and believe in God's will. Don't submit to fear, because we need to understand one thing: no knife, no gun can pierce our soul, and that fear is the tool of the devil to keep us separated from God and our mission to serve him. to the best of our ability. You don't need a map in life, and it's far more important and better for you to be the map and to back yourself as long as what you are planning and what you are doing is pleasing to God. True freedom comes from allowing and being allowed to let your heart speak openly and freely rather than your mind. What do you truly want, and what is it that is holding you back from what you want? There are times throughout our lives where we attend events looking to find someone, but what ends up happening is that we discover that someone at those events is actually looking to find us, and we find each other. Life can get so messy, complex and complicated that we often confuse ourselves by the different masks that we put on and wear to cope. The things that trigger us are also interesting, and the unintentional words that come out of our mouths are quite crazy as well. There is something that exists between truth and lie. There is something that exists between right and wrong. And the goal in life is to get to understand this grey area, what's known as the area in between, and appreciate it and embrace it wherever possible. Interestingly, everything is a lie until your own beliefs, your own actions, and your intentional thoughts are able to convert it to your truth, which hopefully closely aligns to other people's versions of the truth and what is God's will for you. Everyone has their own fate. Just because it didn't work for your parents doesn't mean that it's not going to work for you. Just because it worked for your parents doesn't necessarily mean it's going to work for you. God has a different plan for every person, and no two people live the same past, present, or future exactly the same. One of the other messages that came from this is that humans are indeed special and are born to stand up on their two legs in order to look to the heavens and to worship God and serve God, rather than to move around on their four legs while looking down and being completely detached from God. There are times in our lives where people close to us will be scared to be with us, but also scared to leave us on our own. Playing it safe with logic and rationale does not necessarily guarantee a fruitful or productive outcome. Sometimes you just need to be crazy, determined, and full of bold action. We all have a different fate, and we need to test it to understand what God's plan is for each and every one of us. Our identity, interestingly, is established, developed, and defined with relationship to others in our lives, including ourselves and God. Through our interactions with others, ourselves, and God, we can really discover who we are if you really, really want to. The intangible things in our minds need to be made tangible for one to believe. They need to be actualised through action and collaboration with others. But sadly, we live in a world where most people will only respect you if you're wealthy and powerful. You need to use your wealth and power and skills to serve God. Use it generously to show your love for your neighbour and to serve God, and use it to partner with God in his mission. Life is valuable like a pearl, not because it is a pearl, but because our eternal life hangs on it and is attached to it. There is a big cost to not living a productive life that allows yourself to freely express yourself and make the most of your God-given talents. Great leaders put people through fire like a blacksmith puts steel through fire to harden it and strengthen it. God has no limits. The human soul has no limits as well. And the final point that I'd like to make is that life goes from waterfall to waterfall, and your thoughts, decisions and actions are the source and path of your waterfall. All of our thoughts, decisions and actions eventually lead us to a banquet of consequences, which can be positive or negative. Take care everybody, yasas, and bye for now.